Hello everyone, and welcome to my video. Today is the 12th of November 2013. I'm going to talk about quite a few things in this video. The major topic that I'm going to talk about is my 6 months review for my chest surgery. Back on the 29th of April this year, I had a double incision with 3 nipple grafts. With a surgeon called Mr Kneeshaw, Mr Peter Kneeshaw, based in Hull in the UK. And I have to say, he has done an absolute fantastic job on my chest. Tremendous work. I cannot recommend him enough, really. He is an absolute lovely guy. Went back yesterday so I could have the checkup and everything. And he says that my chest is one of the best that he's done. He wishes that everybody's could turn out like mine. He was really happy about the scarring, the fact that it's already fading, even though it's 6.5 months post-op. He's really pleased that it is fading already. I've not pulled it, I've not done anything, to aggravate the scars or anything like that. And yeah, he's really pleased with them. He took some photos as well, which he did before I had the surgery. I think that's more for showing other people, because when I went for my consultation with him, that's what he did. He showed me before and afters and what to expect, really. So yeah, he was really pleased with my chest and how it's going. He said to me, keep using bio oil. I mean, I only use that maybe a couple of times a week, but then in the long run that will really help. As far as my scars go, do you know what? I think a lot of people try and get rid of them. They either try and use a lot of bio oil, or I've seen some people get tattoos over them in one of the groups on Facebook that I am included in. They try and get like tattoos over them, and I don't think I ever would, because I'm quite proud of my scars. I really do like them. I think it represents like the journey that I've been on and what I've been through. And I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of my journey. Saying that, whereas I am quite open about being trans, of course I am, because I would rather educate people and help people. Whether it's helping a fellow trans person, or just educating like my colleagues at work, or just the general public. I think sometimes there is kind of, in a way, a cut-off point to how much you do say. I don't know if people agree with me here, but I've noticed recently that I'm not as open about being transgender as I was before in my journey, and I think that's because I'm really happy and kind of content in how far I've come from the very beginning, from going to my doctors back in February 2011 to getting at the gender service in, October 2011. I was really open about that because I wanted people to know, and so that they can understand. But now that I've actually gone through the process of starting hormones, having chest surgery, having a hysterectomy, and for me now, that's kind of it, surgery-wise, that's kind of it, because a lot of people don't realise lower surgery is actually quite intense. It's very intense, and it's very hard. I don't know how people go through it. I mean, a specific lower surgery is called phalloplasty, and that is about 4 operations, I've been told. And that is, a lot of people don't seem to understand that if I was to go for that, it would mean time off work, it would mean recovery time off from the gym as well, and I don't have enough sick pay at work to cover that. I'm really lucky that work have given me, because I've worked there between 5 and 10 years, I get 10 weeks full sick pay. I'm lucky that I got that, because I know that, for example, smaller companies, they probably wouldn't do that. So I've got to think of all them factors and everything like that. And a lot of people say to me, well, when are you getting lower surgery? And I've always said the same thing. I'm not as dysphoric down there as I was about my chest. The hysterectomy I wanted done for medical purposes, because I understand that is it the first 5 years of starting testosterone, sorry, I've got some dust. The chances of cancer can be increased quite a bit, and also it is a female organ that I didn't want in my body, because I was never going to use it. To be honest, I was never going to use it, so I kind of wanted it out of my body anyway. But as far as lower surgery goes, I'm not that fussed. And maybe some trans guys struggle to understand that. They probably do. But I've never been dysphoric down there. I don't know why. It's just something about me. You know, the only people that know really is the people that I talk to. You know, the only people that are ever going to see it is obviously myself and a future partner. Nobody else is going to see it. And if I was chatting to some random people in public, they would never know, because I pass really well as male anyway. So yeah, I wanted to just explain that, because it is quite important, to be honest. And sometimes I feel like I need a cut-off point, and I don't know whether stealth is the right word to use, but I'm just not being as open as I was in the beginning, because I just kind of want to get on with my life now. I'm still not ashamed of the fact that I'm trans. I am immensely proud, because I think it shows just a journey that I've been on. It does really show a massive journey that I've been on. And if at work I was to mention it, I would happily say that I'm transgender. I would not shy away from that. But if it doesn't need to be mentioned, then I don't want to mention it, I don't think. I'm happy to talk to people and to explain to people, whether it's in public or behind closed doors or anything like that, but my life isn't about being transgender anymore. It's kind of about living my life now. Now that I've had the surgery, I'm content. I've been on hormones a year and a half, which as of the 1st of November 2013, so what's that, 12 days ago, I was 1 year and 6 months on hormones, on testosterone, which is a fantastic achievement. Brilliant achievement for me. And I just think now it's kind of time to live my life. People ask, I'm not going to say, you know, I'm not going to not answer stuff. Of course I will. I'll still be honest and open and everything, and I'll still want to do my videos. I definitely want to do my videos, but maybe not as often. But yeah, now it's about living my life, really. I had some other stuff that I was going to talk about. I've just signed back up at the gym as well. It's been 6.5 weeks since my hysterectomy. I've signed back up at the gym, so I'll probably be going there tomorrow. I'm looking forward to getting back. It's going to be on very light stuff. I'm not doing weights for a couple of months yet, simply because it's just too much. I want to start cardio first, and then maybe in a couple of months do weights. So I'm finding it hard. I'm finding it difficult at the moment, because before my hysterectomy, you know, I used to go to the gym 5 days a week. I was really involved in the gym. And when you go to the gym 5 days a week and you work, I work for 4 days a week, and then if there's any overtime, you kind of really don't have much time to yourself, to be honest. And I found it difficult, because going from 5 days a week at the gym to doing nothing, to doing zilch, literally, that's tough, and that's kind of mentally exhausting as well. Even though you're not doing much, it's kind of mentally exhausting. And you kind of start going a bit crazy. And to be honest, this is such a sad thing to say, but I really love Glee. It's like one of my favourite programmes. And if it weren't really for Glee, I've never watched Glee. Before I had surgery, I've never watched Glee. I've watched like the odd episode, but not even that. And I watched an episode, we're on season 5 at the moment. We've just gone on episode 4. I watched season 5 episode 2 a couple of weeks ago. It was about 5 weeks ago? 5-6 weeks ago, about 5.5 weeks ago. And because Demi Lovato were in it, right, I wanted to watch it from the beginning. So I've watched them all from the beginning. And I'm on season 4. And I just absolutely love it. And I think I kind of need to occupy my mind a little bit after having surgery. I need to do something. Yeah, I kind of just needed to do something to take my mind off stuff. But sitting at home and doing nothing, first of all, is not like me. I love to be up and about and doing stuff, but I physically could not do it. So to actually get back to the gym is going to be great. I'm going to take it really steady at first, make sure that I'm completely fine with it. Even if it's just literally working out for half an hour. I'm used to working out for about an hour and 15 minutes. Just start half an hour and just build it up. That's what I want to do, really. and then introduce weights in a couple of months. So yeah, and I'm participating in No Shave November, Movember. These are my sideburns so far. I've got really bad acne. Sometimes don't help that I pick them like, but I've got bad acne. But I don't. This is what, nearly 2 months not shaving, probably more. So that's my right side. That's my right side. Is always better than my left. It always is better. But my left side, it's still pretty good. It's just my right side seems to be thicker and fuller. And then I have got quite a bit under my chin. You can't see it on this camera because, oh, my Adam's apple's there. I like my Adam's apple. You can't really see it that much under my chin, but I do have it. I love my Adam's apple and I love my facial hair. Would be nice if I could grow a bit more facial hair, but you know, I'm not that fussed. I'm proud of what I've got. So yeah, I'm participating in this this month. I really do need to cut it down though, because I do need to trim it because it's just a bit fluffy. It's like bum fluff. Kind of weird to say. So yeah, I mean that's going on, and then update from a hysterectomy. It's been what, 6.5 weeks now. It'll be 7 weeks on Thursday. Today we're on Monday, the 12th of November. Yeah, it'll be 7 weeks on Thursday. Everything's going great. Not that much pain anymore, to be honest, but it's like what I said in my last video. If you look back to my last video, a lot of people don't understand that it's more about internal healing. They seem to think, people, just the general public, whether it's friends, work, people, just the general public, if you know, if they knew, they seem to like think, well, hang on, you're up and about, you're walking, so therefore you're fine. Hysterectomy doesn't work like that. It's more about internal healing, and it's like what I mentioned in my previous video. What they do is, when they took my organs out, they stitch a layer of skin back together a bit at a time. So that's what they've done, and that's more about internal healing. So yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about as well, I don't think I've mentioned it so far. I've just been to the doctors. I had to go to the doctors anyway I've just had a blood test last week. Because of the fact that I've had a hysterectomy done, the hormones work completely differently in your body. And I also need to get a medical note for the gym. Which is fair, because otherwise, if they didn't, they wouldn't be covering, the gym won't be covering their own back. So that's right, to be honest. But I went to the doctors. I had a blood test done last week, and I thought, because all my estrogen had been taken out of my body, I thought my testosterone would have soared up. I thought it would be quite high actually, but it wasn't. The lowest range for testosterone in a biological male, or the lower threshold, shall we say, it's something like 6.2, 6.5 I think it is. The doctor told me today mine's 8.6, 8.4, 8.6, so that's actually, and that's just before I'm doing my next shot, my next injection. So that's actually worked out perfectly. But what he said, well, it's completely different, because it's like before, the estrogen, the testosterone was working a lot against the estrogen. And it was fighting to get them changes for me, basically. But now that I've had it taken out, the testosterone will work completely differently in my body, because it's got nothing to fight against, and it, in hindsight, works more effectively. And it's like what I've said. I mean, the last 7 weeks, I've literally been so hungry. Not hungry. I think it's a mixture of everything. It's a mixture that I feel like I've got more testosterone in my body. I feel like my appetite has increased. But yet I feel like my metabolism has increased. And yeah, I have put a bit of weight on from having a hysterectomy, which any person would do, because I've gone from 5 days a week at the gym to nothing. Literally, I think it was like a couple of weeks after surgery, I had to get up and about, and I, took the dog for a walk around the block, which is about a 10-minute walk. So that's the only exercise I've actually done. But there's loads of reasons why I was literally sat down and ate, because I'm bored, because I'm not at the gym, I'm not at work, the food's there, my appetite has increased, so it's a mixture of everything, both physically and emotionally. But it said the testosterone does work a lot differently in your body. But I'm really shocked that my levels were that because I thought they would have been quite a lot higher. So what he's doing with me is he's keeping my injections on every 3 weeks, which is when we changed it from last time. This was months and months ago because my levels were coming back way too low. And when I had them every 4 weeks, I felt like that last week was just kind of messing me about a little bit. It was making me not disrupted, but I was getting a bit stressed with myself, because it was like that week shouldn't have actually been there. It should have been like 3 weeks, and then when I changed it to 3 weeks, it worked out perfectly, really, because that week when I knew that I needed the next one, the 3rd week, I had the next one. But I didn't realise my levels were going to be that good, so I'm really pleased about that. I didn't really want to change it down back to 4 weeks, because to me that's kind of a bit too long. I know that different people have different time ranges. Like some people who take testosterone may have it every 2 weeks. Libido, I believe, is every 10 to 12 weeks, which these are different types of testosterone. So yeah, that's kind of, I'm happy about that. I think I will feel a lot better about myself once I'm back at the gym, back at work, which I'll go back to work in a week and a half. A week on Saturday it is. I'll go back on the 23rd of November, and I think I'll just be happy to catch up with everybody, to see everybody, and get back to normality. I've missed normality. I don't know how people do this every day, literally sitting at home sometimes, and I personally, my personal opinion is the fact that I just would go mad if I stayed at home for the rest of my life. I would go mad. I've got to be out there doing something. Not to mock anybody, I don't want to mock anybody at all, but for me personally, I can't do it. I've got to be out there doing stuff, and either helping people or working, gym, shopping, I don't know. So yeah, I've talked about a lot in this. I wanted to kind of just make it, usually in my videos I do a lot of women and ahhing. I don't want to do that. I just kind of wanted to point out things that have gone on and what effect it has had on me. But the main reason is the fact that, I'm really pleased that Mr Kneeshaw said about my chest, what he said about my chest, the fact that, if everybody's could turn out like yours, it'd be absolutely fantastic. And he's such an absolute great guy. I've never met somebody so great. So thank you ever so much to him. I really do appreciate it. Hope everyone's well, and I'll chat to you all in a bit. See you later.